Oh my goodness, bro. Oh my goodness. Finally, after making this thumbnail forever, I know it's trash. So I apologize, but I think that we are. Let's see if it's good. Okay, it looks good for the most part. If I go over here, does it? So it sounds good to me. Okay, perfect. So, ladies and gentlemen, I have just watched, as you guys can tell by my latest upload, Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning, and I felt like it was necessary for me to rank all of the Mission Impossible movies as well as the stunts. And I could go one level further and also do the characters, but I thought that this would be enough. So, without further ado, let's talk about Mission Impossible movie series. First off, shout out Tom Cruise. Absolutely a brilliant director and actor in his own regard. He's been doing this for over 30 years, which is insane to think about. The first movie released in 1996. Ladies and gentlemen, we are in 2025. So I guess it's just 29 years if I'm not tripping. But this man is literally him, and he's been at the top of his game forever. So shout out to him. He makes great movies too. Top Gun 2. Even though Final Reckoning was, which we'll get into, he still is a mastermind and a genius when it comes to this, and his commitment to really doing his own stunts is something just above. Like the fact that I can rate like an actor, like an action movie actor doing their own stunts is pretty incredible. So much props to him, and without further ado, let's get straight to it. Also, I don't know if this is okay, hopefully that's cool. But I'm afraid you guys can see that if I do that. But type. So we're doing excellent there. Okay, perfect. Okay. So starting with Mission Impossible 1. Now this was released in 1996. It has been kind of a minute since I've seen each of them. I did like a rewatch, I think last year, 2 years ago. So like pretty recent. But I did see this one really recently, Dead Reckoning. So starting off with Mission Impossible number 1. This is kind of where like his boss goes rogue, and he's just like surviving lone wolf type of deal. And I remember that was pretty badass. I was like, okay, go crazy, Tom Cruise. And I feel like it was a good start to the entire series because actually it was adapted from a television show, which I didn't know about. And this was Tom Cruise's directorial debut. So this is a very important movie for him. And I feel like he did an excellent job for being released in 1996. Definitely was interested and captivated the entire time. So I'm going to rate this out of 100. Because it's relative to each other, so it's not like holistically. I'll give it like a 88 out of 100 because I feel like it was like, decent to watch, like fun to watch for sure. But like, do I go back to that one? Definitely not. Like, there's so many, so that might go down as time goes along. All right, Mission Impossible 2. Now, honestly, this is the one that I kind of forget. All I know is that there was like a light skinned / black woman that was his love interest, which is the first time he's done that ever. So I feel like shout out to him. But this one was like, I kind of forget the plot of it, which kind of sucks. But I think I'd rate this like an 84 out of, or maybe like an 80. Because it's like the fact that I don't remember it kind of says a lot about it. I actually remember it like it was like good, but like nothing like the rest of these movies. Okay, so Mission Impossible 3. This is the one where he has to climb the building. Is that this one? No. I gotta refresh myself. Oh, this is the rabbit's foot one. This is the rabbit's foot one. Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one. That one just like starts off high energy, just straight to the bat, just straight action, bloodthirst, and all of that. So we got to give that one at least I think it's at least 94 because it's just like the villain is absolutely top tier. I don't know his name, but he did an absolutely phenomenal job. Just like his stoic expressions and just really making you feel dread for Tom Cruise. And it was just like kind of out of pocket, like everything that happened, and that bro literally killed his wife. If you've seen the movie, I assume at this point you know what I'm talking about. But it's like bro was not holding anything back. It was straight to business. So I feel like that might have to be bumped up because the more I think about it, I remember my dad showed me this movie. This was the first ever Mission Impossible movie I saw, and he just loved it. And there are aspects of it that are really good because I'm thinking more. And there's like, because there's the mole that's in the IMF. Oh wow, yeah, there's a lot that there's a lot that goes into that movie, and it's really, really good. Damn. So Loki 95. And there's also Aaron Paul, which is the actor from Breaking Bad. What's his name? Why am I forgetting his name? Walter White and Jesse. Jesse. He's in like the smallest role, but it's funny. Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol. Now, this is the movie where he takes his stunts really to the next level. Because in Mission Impossible 2, that's where he does the little hang thing, I'm pretty sure. I forget what else happened in Mission Impossible 3. If there's anything. Jumping between skyscrapers, yeah, it's pretty crazy. But so like Mission Impossible 2, where he did the hang thing on the rocks, and then Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol is where he really just went stupid, and he did the climbing the Burj Khalifa, the tallest building at that time. I think it still is. Yeah, it's like bro is just breaking barriers of this one. So obviously this one's gonna be really, really high. The ending, I feel like the evil guy, like he was like a generic evil guy, but he was interesting in how he was beaten, and like Tom is just like invincible. Wait, Mission Impossible Ghost. I'm just gonna refresh myself on what was the Trevor. I forget what his role in this was exactly, like how it manifested itself, but I just remember it was. Let me move my iPad here. I just remember being impressed by Tom Cruise's commitment, and I feel like it's a decent story overall. Mission Impossible 3 might have been too highly rated, but I'll put 96 out of 100 because it definitely was top. And then this one, by far, Rogue Nation is the best Mission Impossible movie, and that's pretty much like not an argument, I think, just because solely of the storytelling. And I don't know, I feel like in all these movies, like it seemed like it was really like old and retro, but Rogue Nation really just jumped into a new era of like movie making and storytelling that made it just seem a lot more realistic and believable in a sense. And I feel like there was an aspect of the more old timey movie storytelling that like made it feel like more credible, like more like Mission Impossible espionage type of deal. But like the Rogue Nation was really just hitting, and I forget. Nah, I don't forget. I don't know what I'm talking about. And then also the bad guy was cool. It had introduced a lot of different characters. I feel like it was the most ambitious in terms of a project. Like the other ones were pretty simple, like plot A to B, kind of. That might be simplifying it, really, which is not nice to do when they put so much time into it. But I feel like that's kind of just the easiest way for me to think about it. But Mission Impossible Rogue Nation, I feel like that just took everything in the beautiful Mission Impossible formula and formatted it into something even better and more fun to watch, if that makes sense. So I do 100 on 100. Mission Impossible Fallout. This one also was decent, not as good as its predecessor. Rogue Nation was easily setting the bar. Fallout was like that had Henry Cavill Superman, which was cool. I'm trying to think what else like I really enjoyed about Mission Impossible Fallout. I mean, it was a good like it wasn't as good as Fall. It wasn't as good as Rogue Nation for sure because it kind of had repeated themes. I think in terms of like shout out motorcycle. I think in terms of like Tom Cruise being Tom Cruise, it did do a satisfactory job for like just like action movies, just interesting. Like I remember they had the Halo jumping, which I'm sure is high altitude. Yeah, high altitude Halo jumping. Oh, this was crazy when they piloted the helicopter through like it was like some um what should we call it, Top Gun stuff, just like how he was piloting all the helicopters and stuff, and the fact that all those stunts were real. I mean, that just shows like Tom Cruise is literally him. Like he is willing to go to whatever length possible to do his stunts and whatnot. Stuff like that was really cool. What am I gonna give that? I'm gonna give that a 90. I feel like it was like a couple steps down, so I'll do 95 out of 100. Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning. Now I remember when I first saw this movie, I wasn't too impressed. I forget who I saw it with, but they also weren't that impressed. I feel like that kind of like when you see it with someone and they're like not feeling it, then you're not feeling it a little bit too. So I feel like that definitely influenced how I thought of it. But upon rewatching it by myself, a couple weeks ago, actually. It was really interesting, and I feel like the diverse set of locations that they visited within the movie was really cool. I mean, you started off and there was Morocco, then you had Rome, the Vatican, and where else were they? They were somewhere else in Africa, or not in Africa, in like the Middle East area. But it was actually a really diverse movie in terms of like locations and like things that were progressing in the storyline. I feel like that made it a lot more interesting. I mean, compared to all these movies, I don't think it really holds a candle. Like, it obviously was a step down just because it was really ambitious, and I didn't really like the entity AI thing. Like, I feel like, yes, that is like a really big issue. I talked about this in my video. Like, yes, AI is a really big issue nowadays, and like, I'm sure in the espionage world it's insane and shaking everything up with deep fakes and all that. But it's like, I didn't feel like it was as believable as like a world ending thing as like Fallout or Rogue Nation, where there's literally like a bomb being built, or like an actual group of people that are trying to do something bad. Like the whole Gabriel thing, didn't like he's the voice of the entity, he's the chosen one. And I know they built off a lot of that in Final Reckoning, which I'll talk about in a second. But I feel like Dead Reckoning just wasn't hitting as hard as these previous three. And I feel like that's also like a consensus with the other like Mission Impossible fans. Now, is it better than Mission Impossible 2 and Mission Impossible 1? Most likely, just because I said like I really like the newer view of it. Also, Dead Reckoning acting was not there. Like Mission Impossible has A-list actors, like they do their thing. They're capable of that. They're of that caliber. But in terms of did I feel like it was believable in Dead Reckoning? Hell no, that was not it. So we're gonna do a smooth 90 out of 100. We'll do that. And then I guess I don't have to put out of 100 if they're all out of 100, but I don't know. I guess consistency is nice. So Mission Impossible Final Reckoning. This movie, wow. So I've just saw this, as I said recently, saw it in IMAX. Honestly, a lot of mixed opinions. Some good, some bad. And I feel like for the most part, the movie was decent. Like, I'm not gonna see it again probably for a while, and I don't think there's any specific scenes that make me want to rewatch it. Like, okay, I'll say one thing. So, as I said before, Tom Cruise is really good at making action movies, specifically Top Gun 2. I think that is his best ever movie that I've seen. Best acted, best filmed, and just the musical score, and just feeling like, I mean, one, it's also the most believable because I know that that stuff happens on a daily basis. And Mission Impossible, while that could be true, has definitely a certain element of, I don't know, with all the luck and things that match up. That I feel like, so I feel like, I don't know why I brought that up. I just really love Top Gun 2. And I feel like Final Reckoning just like didn't make me want to go back. That's why I brought it up. Final Reckoning didn't leave me with like a feeling or a desire to rewatch the movie anytime soon. Like there wasn't any scenes that I picked out and were like, oh, I need to go back over that and really dissect what happened. Like in Top Gun 2, where this man Tom Cruise proves to every single cadet that they can do the flight. I don't know how many, I've seen that scene at least like 10, 15 times at this point. Because it's like, once you see it, you're like, wow, that's a grown man right there. That's how you take care of business. But I just did not feel like that with this movie at all, which I feel like kind of sucks because Mission Impossible is such a great series, and it's like these three, even this one, maybe this might be a slow burn because this is a slow burn movie for me. So maybe Final Reckoning is also a slow burn movie, but I just feel like in terms of like, oh, I need to go rewatch that, I did not get that feeling. And so for that, it definitely is under Dead Reckoning, to be honest. Like, I feel like even though this was the culmination, there was some absolutely insane things that Tom Cruise did. I don't know if I can support him in. And was it better than the first one? That's crazy. It has to be. It's the last one. You got to give it a little bit better. So let's rearrange just now to reflect how I rated everything. So we got 96 up here. And we can see if there's anything that needs to be rearranged. In terms of like, oh no, not that. Damn. And then, okay, so we have Rogue Nation, Ghost Protocol, both good, both really good. Mission Impossible 3, also really good. Fallout, Dead Reckoning, Final Reckoning. I'm just trying to think of like which movies would I actually want to see again. This one's for sure number one. This one's definitely number two. I feel like these two are actually pretty interchangeable, so I'm glad I rated those close together. Mission Impossible Fallout, is that the same as 3? Nah, probably at least one peg lower. Just because Impossible 3 just had a great story. Like, yeah, beautiful. MI Final Reckoning. I feel like these are good. I feel like these are good. All decent. Okay, so now we're moving on to the second half of the stream, and that is looking at Tom Cruise's stunts and deciding and ranking them. So, number one, climbing the Burj Khalifa, the world's tallest building. Just reading that sounds insane, and thinking about this man found some way to form it into a movie, just brilliant. Out of 100, oh my nigga, that. Out of 100, let's get, oh damn, that's your big foot. Let's do this. My computer tripping. 12, or is it 14? Unbolded, nice. So in terms of what are we rating his first stunt that is on the list, not in order, these are not in chronological order, just so you know. Climbing the Burj Khalifa, world's tallest building. The fact that it was the tallest building and this man was like, okay, let me go do it and somehow format into the movie, honestly just made it so impressive. Out of 100, I think I'm gonna give it, it's gotta, I mean, it's just like top tier. I mean, all of his things are so good because it's like he just commits fully and full sends it. Hanging onto the side of an Airbus A4. Okay, so this is the one where he's like, open the door, Benji, like this is the wrong door or whatever. And I feel like that scene was pretty fire. Like when you saw that in the trailer, you're like, no way this goofy dude did that in real life. And then he drops a video where he's talking about doing it in real life. In terms of iconic, that's high up there. Like when you think Mission Impossible, you think that happening. And that's Rogue Nation, which is one of the undeniably best, my favorite Mission Impossible movie up here. But I don't want to give like recency bias because like I feel like just because I rated it high here doesn't mean the stunts have to be high. But I feel like in terms of like this man was connected to the outside of a plane with a cord. Oh no, like okay, hold on. Let's do some rearranging real quickly. Because like here's my thinking. So it's like, yes, you're climbing a building stationary. You can have multiple cords connected to it. They can green screen that out. You're hanging onto an airplane that's moving and flying. Air, wind, everything rushing at you at once, and he's still hanging on by a little tiny cord. Is that not crazy? I don't even think he had I was about to say jetpack. I don't think he had a parachute on. Like, bro was just out there chilling. That's got to be top. All right, holding breath underwater for over 6 minutes during an underwater heist. Now, I forget if that's actually happened. Okay, I'm not gonna lie. ChatGPT made the list, and I'm just like organizing it. But how long did Tom Cruise hold his breath underwater? Okay, but I feel like he did do this in real. Oh yeah, nah, that's insane. Okay, so the fact that he actually did do that for 6 minutes, like, bro is legitimately that guy. 6 minutes? Are we serious? That's like, people can run like 2 miles in that. That's a lot. People can run 1.5 miles in that time, and he held his breath for that long. That's got, because like for me, like I'm low-key, like I love playing in the water and stuff, but like when I think about holding my breath and such, like that's why I call it quits. Performing a high altitude low opening jump. Okay, now here's the thing. I am scared, deathly scared of heights, right? But it's like the fact that this man took it to another level is crazy, but like I have no comparison for like what that actually, I have like no comparison what that actually is like just doing it regularly. So I'll put like Also, is it closed off? Oh no, you can see the full thing. Um, Finna hit that with a smooth. Like I feel like all of his stunts are in the 90s because it's like I couldn't do them myself. At least not yet. Maybe in the future. Piloting a helicopter through a high-speed chase in mountainous terrain. That was crazy. Bro was literally doing some Top Gun stuff in I love when he combines them. Like I don't know if you guys have seen the newest Mission Impossible movie, but like he literally combines like Top Gun themes, like having the aircraft carrier and having jets, and oh, he's just a crazy man, bro. But piloting a helicopter through a high-speed chase in mountainous terrain, um, that's got to be up there as well. High altitude. I mean, there's just what's there more risk in? Like when you're skydiving, your parachute can't open. If that doesn't open, then you're cooked. That's like the biggest thing. But I guess it's high altitude, low opening, so it's like you're jumping from high. But if you're jumping, never mind. Piloting a helicopter, I feel like there's so many things you can go wrong, and it's like 6 degrees of freedom. You know what I'm saying? So it's like everything and anything is possible. So that's got to be okay. Let me just not rate it like in comparison. Um, I'll put 95 out of 100. Okay. Riding a motorcycle off a cliff and transitioning into a base jump. So, needless to say, this man is a badass that handles his business. And so, riding a motorcycle, I feel like they hyped this one up a lot. Like they did truly hype up this stunt. And I'm not going to say that they didn't cook with it. I am just going to say that like I feel like it wasn't over exaggerated because I know it took like over hundreds of attempts for him to get it perfectly right and get it down, and I'm sure it took much more rehearsal and like controlled environments and such. But I feel like once you get this down, like I feel like I could do this. I don't know if that's a hot take. That might be a hot take, but I truly feel like I could do this like one day if I like tried. If I knew how to parachute, I could do this. I feel like. Plus, I feel like it was kind of forced in the movie. Like the setup in the movie was like it was kind of forced. I can't lie. Like it didn't feel natural. Like most of these other scenes felt like, oh, I need to do this. Like there was good value. Like this was like really good, valuable reason. Like he couldn't use the elevator or whatever. He had to go outside the building to actually accomplish his goals. Like that makes sense. This one was also a little extra, but it was like the first scene of the movie, so it was cool. They'll get past there. Holding the breath, this was crucial to the goal. They built up the stakes so high, which is why I think I love it so. Low key, that might be 99. I'm thinking about the stakes. Like they built that up great. Like there's no other way you would have gotten into that vault and gotten the information they needed. Halo was like that. Also was a little bit forced. Middle of the movie didn't need to happen. This was definitely really forced, but like I mean, it's still cool. Don't get me wrong, but like I think compared to these other insane ones, free solo climbing at Dead Horse Point, this was insane. This is what we call a death wish. That's what we call a death. Oh, that's what we call smacking my microphone. That was a death wish. Sorry if that was too loud. That was a death wish. Um, Engaging a knife fight with the blade stopping just short of his eye. This is also insane, bro. Tom Cruise, knife eye, knife eye. Bro actually had the knife that close. Bro actually had the knife that close. No CGI. Like imagine like there's like millimeters. Imagine like twitches and like he's cooked. He's cooked. He's cooked. But bro literally puts his life and well-being on the line to craft these excellent, beautiful movies for us. Like love you wherever. I don't know why I'm putting a piece on the earth. Tom Cruise, wherever you are an insanely amazing, awesome person. All right, engaging in a knife fight with the blade stopping short of his eye. This one gotta be like his eye literally could have gotten poked out. High risk, little reward. Like yes, the shot was amazing. Don't get me wrong, but like he did not need to do all that. Let's be so dead ass, bro. Like he could have got the same effect if it was like to a less crucial part of his body. but like the fact he did it still gets him high marks. Breaking into the CIA vault by descending from the ceiling without touching the floor. This was cool. Really watered down because like the safety stuff I think in Hollywood wasn't that like extreme. So it's like compared to the other things on the list, like it's not. So I'll give that a 90. Like that shouldn't even be in the 90s, but just like out of respect for him. All right, jumping between skyscrapers. I forget if he actually did this. Did Thomas Cruise? Did Tom Cruise jump between skyscrapers in MI3? Yes. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. He actually did it. He actually did it, folks. Oh my god, my posture is terrible. That's fine. Wait, did he? No. Oh my goodness. Yeah, this is crazy. The fact he did that. Imagine your arm just like gets a cramp in that moment. You're cooked. You're so cooked. Oh my goodness. Oh, he was wearing a harness. Okay. And he did have an injured foot. Oh. Wow. Oh my goodness. This man is just like, the dedication is completely unreal. Oh, I love him. Jumping between skyscrapers, I feel like that's also insane. But the fact he had a rig too for that definitely takes it down a couple notches. And then plane walking. This is from Mission Impossible Final Reckoning, the movie I just saw. I think out of all the crazy shit I've seen, this has got the cake. Even though I didn't rate it that highly, this man was literally on a plane with like two harnesses and he was doing crazy stuff. He was hanging by one hand. Now, if that is not a white man that is living his life, really, I don't know what is. That man was doing his thing, living life. Like, I don't think I could ever do, like, the thoughts in my head, bro. I get scared to go onto roller coasters where I get strapped in. There's no way I'm doing one-handed up in the air. Let me see if I can find a photo for people that haven't seen it. Tom Cruise, one hand plane. Like, bro, like this. This is not crazy. He's just flexing. Like this is just straight aura farming, bro. Straight aura farming. Oh my god. And bro was actually hanging on the side of the plane the whole time. Some people I just built different. Oh yeah, here we go. Here's this goofy ass. Like this actually happened. There's no CGI in the scene right here. Like bro actually hung upside down. He actually held upside down. And he's over here just climbing around, jumping around, having fun. G-force is smacking his face. And he's just up here lolly-dotty-da. Are we serious? Like he actually did this. This is the bottom of a plane. This is the bottom of a plane. Bro was climbing like a little child. That's okay. I cracked the code. He's basically just like a little child climbing. Like I think that's the, like, you know how little children climb on their parents and such. That is literally him, but as an adult. I respect that though. I miss climbing on my parents. Actually, I don't think I ever did that. I can't lie. I think I was a good child. Tom Cruise was probably rambunctious. Probably didn't listen to his parents. But look where he is now. Look where I am. Failing life right now. Just kidding. Okay. Let me see. Oh, that was perfect. Let's see what else we got up here. Boom, boom, boom. 90, 95. Okay, so let's see. So first we got plane walking, which is definitely number one. As I just explained and as we went over, this man is a lunatic. Holding breath for over 6 minutes. Like, bro, that wasn't even necessary. He could have done cuts, but it was one continuous take is crazy. This man is insane. Hanging onto the side of an Airbus. Wait, dang, that Burj Khalifa definitely got to be higher. But like he was saved. Nah, he did some. I think he actually was running down it though. So we're gonna take this. We're gonna put it at the top up here because it's not on holding breath for 6 minutes tier, but it's like he cooked with that. I can't lie. Free solo climbing, yeah, that's up there. Bro had no, or he did have a harness, but like just being Tom Cruise, I guess. Engaging in a knife fight, piling. So I feel like a discussion to be had is, will there ever be another actor like Tom Cruise who can just merge seamlessly being the actor that can like act and like actually make people believe that they're this Ethan Hunt, this fictional character, while subsequently being their own stunt person. So it's like you can have these tight close-up shots that are seamlessly transitioned from these real shots because you're not switching, you're not using a decoy or a fake person. It's the exact same person. You're just continuous filming them. And I feel like that just adds a different level of realism to it. But is there anyone else who does their own stunts? Like, let me see this. Are there any actors? It says actresses. So I feel like this just like puts you in your own category. Yeah, man. Jackie Chan. Oh, that's low-key tough. Christian Bale. Okay, Christian Bale. Daniel Craig. Wow. Okay. Matt Damon. Of course, he would do it. Jeremy Renner. I feel like Jeremy Renner makes sense. He's just a G. Like, he's like low-key black on the inside. Mission Impossible, Fallout, and Avengers Endgame. Ooh, what stunts were in Avengers Endgame, I wonder. Angelina Jolie. Okay. Michelle Yeoh. Oh, wow. That's really impressive because she was doing everything in that movie and everything everywhere all at once. Scarlett Johansson. I don't know who Charlize Theron is. Oh, she probably is Mad Max. Okay, Gal Gadot. That makes sense. Zoe Bell. Cynthia. Okay, Cynthia. I need to see this. Cynthia Erivo. Iconic defying gravity scene. Cynthia defying gravity. What is this? What is she do? Where is she defying gravity? Hold on. Cause y'all can't hear the audio because I'm on my Mac, but oh whoa. Okay. Actually, I'm not. Is that movie worth seeing? I don't know if that movie's worth seeing. That scene looked like fire though. She kind of like floating though, defying gravity, no cap. Oh, it's them singing the whole movie. Never mind, I can't do that. Wow. Well, this has been a sleepy stream, but I need to start doing these earlier. I get so tired, bro. I made spaghetti for dinner. That was delicious. I was just putting random spices in there. I can't even lie, but that tasted absolutely amazing. Then I had some. Should I go to sleep? I gotta go to. I gotta wake up early tomorrow. Dang, big bag, big bag, big bag. For real though. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. If you're still here, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and as always, I will see you next time.